Hi everyone, today is February 28th, 2013, and that means it is Rare Disease Day. Today I'm going to be talking to you about what Rare Disease Day means to me, and I'm hoping that you will tell me what Rare Disease Day means to you. So I'm going to get right into it. Rare Disease Day is a chance for everyone with a rare disease to come together and spread awareness about all the diseases in the database. It's going on nationally, and I think today is a representation of our own personal struggles and what we go through every day, or what we have gone through, or what we've conquered in the past. You know, many people don't know about these disorders, and it's very disheartening because no one, gets the education that they need to know about these diseases. I myself don't, I have rare diseases myself, but I don't know all the diseases either. But today is the day that we learn all about them, and I think that this day is very important for all of us to have a rare disease. We don't get to talk about it a lot, especially like the media never focuses on it. Like I actually watched the news today and I was so surprised that they actually mentioned it on television that it was Rare Disease Day. I was so surprised because, it's good to see that the media is acknowledging that this day is very important to us. This is a day where we want to spread awareness, educate the public on everyone's diseases, whether it be mine or yours. Um, Rare Disease Days is very important. We want research done for our diseases. We want treatments done. We want new things to be done, and this is our day to make sure that that happens. So I'm glad to be involved in Rare Disease Day and try to spread awareness about what affects me. I have Crohn's disease, and that's on the database list, and I also have XYY syndrome, or which is commonly known as Jacob syndrome. I'm just going to get into what each one, how it has affected me, and then hopefully I can hear from the community. Crohn's disease, I was diagnosed at 20, and I was diagnosed in December of 2010. So I had to undergo like 4 tests to make sure that I had the disease, and then I had to go through a colonoscopy, which is like not fun at all. I had to go through I had to go through a stool sample test. I had to go through a CT scan, and I've had to have a genetic blood test as well to see if it runs in my family. So that was quite the experience. Um, Crohn's disease isn't fun. It's chronic. There's no cure for it. That's another thing. This is what's important about this day is not only do we have rare diseases, but we have rare diseases out there with no cure. So, I'm hoping that today I'm educating people about Crohn's disease because it does affect my life. It affects a lot of things, like what I eat. I have to watch what I eat. I have to, take my medication every day. Wouldn't it be nice one day to have a cure for the disease and not have to take medication every single day? It's no fun taking, well, for me, I take 8 pills a day right now, but when I was diagnosed, I had to take 20 pills a day. So, that was a lot, and medication is not cheap either. That's another thing. It's like, it's one thing to make us take all this medication, but it's another thing. It's like healthcare isn't cheap. So, yeah, chronically ill patients, it's hard to live with. We Crohn's patients experience fatigue, nausea, bloating, diarrhea. Like it's very just, it takes its toll on your body, and I think that a lot of people don't realize that. Most people equate Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis as like, oh well, this is just like a stomach ache or it's not that bad, when in actuality people just aren't educated about what it actually is. And I think that people should honestly do their research about things that they've never heard of, because most of the time rare diseases are diseases you haven't heard of or you don't know what they are, you know or you might have heard about them but you haven't had, you know you didn't have the time to research it. And I think that that's important to do your research on anything. But let me get back into this. So Crohn's disease is it's very taxing on myself. You know, I always have to worry about, you know, if I'm gonna be able to, you know, hold down a job, or, you know, which obviously I'm worried about. And you know, I got diagnosed in college, so it was very hard for me. You know, I was in a transition of transferring from community college to university. So like, you know, and then that's when I got sick, you know, right in the middle of the transition. So it was just very hard for me to deal with, you know, but I just kind of like pushed through it. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna finish college, and I did, you know. It wasn't easy, but I managed to do it, you know. There are ways, you know. As far as XYY, I had that since I was born, of course. Although a lot of people don't know what that is because it's very rare. 1,000 boys are diagnosed with it, and only 10% of boys even know that they have it. So most of the time, you won't even know if you have it. I was fortunate enough to know that I do have it, and what basically is um, most humans are born with 46 chromosomes normally. You know, you have 23 pairs. Now, with me, I'm born with 47 chromosomes. That's why usually you see XYY as 47 XYY. Um, and it basically how it has affected my life, and this is a challenge that I've overcome. You know, see, Crohn's disease is a challenge I face every day. XYY is a challenge that I think I personally overcome, because as a child I had to have therapy from like pretty much birth to like I was about 9 years old, you know, and that's when they stopped. I had physical therapy, I had occupational therapy, you know, you name it, I had it. And I was a kid when I had that going on, so it's like, you know, you don't really know, you know, if you're gonna ever stop therapy at that point when you're a child, you know. So yeah, you know that's really what it came down to. You know, I still have low muscle tone, you know, things like that, you know, that are characteristics of an XYY individual. You know, you know, it's like a spectrum disorder, I would say, because you know a lot of times, you know, it has like developmental challenges, but I haven't faced that, luckily for me. But I know that a lot of other XYY people in our community have. So I think that this day is important to recognize that as well. You know, um, XYY is very rare, like I said, but you know, I was lucky to find a support group online. You know, that's the thing about rare diseases is it's good to always have a support group so people will know and relate to you. You know, that's the most important thing, because it's the coping mechanism. That's how I see it as. Like, you need to find other people that can understand what you're going through, and that's very hard. Like, living in a society where, like, people already look down on diseases as it is. You know, when you tell someone, oh, you have a disease, they automatically classify you as, oh, this person's sick all the time, when in actuality, for some of us, that's not the case, you know? So, with XYY, like I said, XYY is a challenge I've overcome. You know, that's when I had therapy, and you know, I mean, obviously, this it still kind of affects me in the sense that, you know, I still have bad hand and eye coordination, and statistically, I'm like the classic XYY male because I'm tall. You know, that's very prominent of XYY males, is that we're tall, stature, and yeah. So, I was willing to make this video because I wanted to share with you all my rare diseases and kind of touch base on that. So, I hope you guys all have a great Rare Disease Day, and you celebrate it, and you get out there and you spread your awareness about the diseases that affect your life personally. Alright, have a great Rare Disease Awareness Day. Alright, everyone. Bye.